Hello, I'm Kimberly Helkett in Washington. The main story is brought to you by Al Jazeera. Dozens of people have been killed in El Salvador after Hurricane Ida caused floods and mudslides. The storm is making its way north to the southern United States. On Sunday, it passed over the Mexican resort town of Cancun. China's Premier Wen Jiabao has pledged $10 billion in new low-interest loans to Africa. He's in Egypt on a two-day summit with African leaders. As part of the deal, China will also cancel debts by some of the poorest African countries. The $10 billion offer is double what Beijing offered to African nations just 3 years ago. Iraq's parliament has passed a law that paves the way for national elections. The bill had stalled on how voting would be handled in Kirkuk, an oil-rich city in the country's north, claimed by both the region's Kurdish and Arab populations. A suicide bomber blew himself up at a crowded market in northwestern Pakistan on Sunday. The mayor of the town was killed along with 11 other people. It happened in Adizai, about 16 kilometers south of Peshawar. U.S. President Barack Obama says he's confident he'll win his fight for a massive overhaul of how U.S. health care is delivered. Late on Saturday, the lower house of Congress narrowly approved his $1.1 trillion plan. It will now go to the U.S. Senate, which is also expected to be a close vote. If passed, the bill would require all Americans to get insurance or pay a fine, and it would create a new government-run health care plan that would compete with private insurers.
Now it falls on the United States Senate to take the baton and bring this effort to the finish line on behalf of the American people. And I'm absolutely confident that they will. And I'm equally convinced that on the day that we gather here at the White House and I sign comprehensive health insurance reform legislation into law, they'll be able to join their House colleagues and say that this was their finest moment in public service. The moment we delivered change we promised to the American people and did something to leave this country stronger than we found it.
And those are our top stories. Don't forget you can stay up to date with all your news on our website. The address aljazeera.net/English.